That's good. So I'm just trying to figure out like I'm gonna be on here for like 10 minutes or so. But I've been sitting here trying to figure out a nice little workflow using one shots in the SP and, you know, a little MIDI controller connected. So I'm playing chords right now just with this sample here. It's just a piano sample, one shot. And then I've got scale mode running over here, and then I'm just resampling. So it's a little difficult to play chords with like, just to play. Like, I mean, because my level, whatever, I've got my limitations and all that, but as far as playing on mini keys, it's even more difficult. So I know that using the Mark, I got the other keyboard over here, right? I got the larger launch key over here to the left, and that's easier to play some chords on. So ideally, like using the looper is cool, playing some chord progressions in. But this is just, I guess, another way of approaching it. If you just also don't know how to play, really, it's just sampling in each chord and just, you know, coming up with a sequence there. So that's just what I'm doing, just figuring it out. Oh, it's good though. SimCity, what's up? Be jamming, what's good? Chilling on a hot day. Yeah, I'm inside. I've been inside like all day with the AC running here and there. And now I got the oven on because I'm hungry and I can't find anything else. I put some food in the oven. DJ Rec and the Ill Robot, what's good, man? Been kind of a minute, I feel like. Probably gonna sell the Push 3. Here we are. What's going on? I'm mostly just Ableton, Qual and Ableton pretty much. So what's up with the Push 3? How's that? Since you're Ableton, I mean, that's the perfect controller. What's going on with that? Amazing, but I'm more into playing keys. I mean, you got a keyboard. Can't you just hook them both up? The Push, regardless, I mean, you're not forced to use the pads to play melodies and stuff. Regardless, it's still like the best controller for Ableton. LA Star, what's happening? Thank Fooey, someone is streaming. What a boring evening. I won't be on very long, though. People must be busy. A lot going on. Well, you know, you got Mother's Day happening tomorrow. Or depending on where you're at. I don't know. Do all parts of the world celebrate Mother's Day? Or is that just, they probably have their own days that they do. I'm sure they celebrate mothers everywhere, but I think officially tomorrow's Mother's Day is probably just the States, the U.S. Don't need a controller. Just keyboard and mouse. Okay, for sure. Man, it's just about that, you know. Getting some other things. You're not leaving, Raul. Nope, nobody know. Yeah, man, no, I wasn't even gonna come on. I was planning to, but like I'm expecting my wife to come home. So as soon as she gets in here, I'm gonna get off. All right, I'm gonna stop the stream. So, and I really have nothing planned. I've been messing with this workflow or trying to figure out if it's good. Otherwise, I gotta just practice using the looper to play things in, because then I could do like, if I was gonna play this in, I would, let me try it. Looper. What is that, 4 bars? I don't know. Try that. it's all right, I guess. But I could do that here with this. Could do something more interesting than just playing those straight chords. A revamped MPC 1000. Any news on the MPC? Nah, it doesn't look like they're doing anything. Akai needs to drop a new portable. Disappointed no Akai reveals. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. It's kind of wild. I mean, I think Akai might be trying to like not be so predictable, and then they are kind of. And if they drop something today, it would have been very predictable, and they've become kind of, predictable when it comes to stuff because of the leaks, like the FCC stuff. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to escape that, and if maybe they pay, because they definitely pay attention to the community, so they know the rumblings and all that, the rumblings. So maybe I don't know, maybe they're trying to make some other kind of move that's unexpected. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. Maybe it'll be Tuesday. Yeah, maybe they're not on track. Hold on, I'm gonna go check these fish sticks in the oven real quick. Yeah, those look about done. What do I have here? Oops. This is actually a kit that I just sampled out of the. So I'm getting ready to finish up the little key group pack that I'm making out of the Integra 7, and then I've decided the last thing I'm gonna do is sample some of the drums. Probably just make 2 kits. This is the first one I made, and I didn't sample the whole drum kit. I'm just sampling it the way that I would use it. The main sounds, kick, snare, hat, open hat, crash, tones, the riot. So, and then it crossed my mind to maybe I'll make an actual one-shot kit too, out of all those sounds for the SP, and have that as a part of it too. So it really would just be these drum kits, and I know how to save, a little workaround for saving drum kits and loading them in the SP. Had that video on that, where you just save a project, right? And you can have technically load up a project and have drum programs, you know what I mean? And then just use like the key groups and just create one shots out of all those sounds. I got like 22 categories, 44 presets, so it'd be 44 instruments and like 2 drum kits, I guess. Um, and another thing I wanted to do is mess around with some of the effects here and just like finger drum some breaks. Maybe use that as kind of a starting process for workflow. Yeah, I want to check out that Swamp stuff. But yeah, like I said before, what's up, Beats by Alonzo? I said before, I'm going to sell the Integra 7 and just keep the sounds that I've sampled so far. And then yeah, I'd like to check out the Swamp on the iPad. Hopefully my old ass iPad is compatible. Fabric is, man. Yeah, Fabric's all right. But you know what? When I think about like what I do, really, I guess it depends on what I do. If you're like fully just composing, then yeah. But mainly what I've been doing and what I do is like sample something and then I'll use a bass from Fabric or whatever, a key group, and throw my vocal on it and then I'm done. So I really don't need that much. Well, I do want to compose stuff, but yeah. I'm not as good at that, so I don't really do a lot of composing too much. Sold your 404? Damn. Yeah, I'm hoping they start doing, I'm hoping the like culture of like hardware samplers and firmware updates starts changing, as it seems it is with some companies. I was talking about this last stream too. Like Ableton's putting out the more frequent updates. I hope that becomes a normal thing. Because this year they didn't put anything out that was attractive to me and a lot of people. And from the pattern of the way they work, man, it's like a whole nother year before possibly getting some of the things that I might want, you know? The way I feel just now, I probably just give up music. Some things just aren't right. Why give up music? I understand though the feeling sometimes, but maybe you're just, I feel like that too when I feel overwhelmed when I have too much gear. Almost like a guilty conscience in a way. It's like, why do I need all this? I definitely don't. I just like to have it. Maybe Alex Starr, instead of that extreme, maybe some minimalism. Because maybe that's kind of where that's leading to. Like if you're in the mind state that you want to quit, what does that mean? It might entail that you want to sell all your stuff, and then you have nothing. You're not going to make music, but maybe in that process of getting rid of stuff, if you end up doing that and you continue down that path of like, I want to quit, maybe you can just stop at MPCX and you're good. You know? Ultimately, I know as like sound creators, music producers, we do want a decent sound. I know you, specifically, I am talking to you, right? Because I know you're definitely about high quality sound. And I mean, I want a high quality sound too. I don't think I focus as much on it. And maybe that thought process is leading down a path of that kind of thinking, and maybe you can ask it yourself, because I could be totally wrong. Maybe like refocusing what your priority is when it comes to music. Ultimately, like, we're all here to express ourselves when we create, right? And that's going to be the most fulfilling thing. So, like, being really obsessed about the sound maybe is overwhelming, and maybe there's a bit of a vain aspect to that, like reaching this perfect sound. And if you could just strip back to just expressing yourself, and maybe in that you won't end up feeling like you need to quit. Maybe there's an aspect that you need to quit. Man, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just like evaluating it and applying it to like how my thought processes and experiences. Like, I feel like quitting sometimes too, but I overwhelm myself with trying to do too much, right? And sometimes I'm actually like, oh, I want to quit this YouTube thing. But ultimately, it's not like I want to quit YouTube necessarily sharing and creating stuff. I want to quit kind of the chase of like trying to grow my channel so that I can make it a business, and so that I can what's the word? I guess sustain what it is that I'm doing. All right. And I think, yeah, man, I just want to quit all that. I want to just have one machine, forget about trying to make videos to grow the channel, and just make music and share that. And that ultimately sounds more fulfilling. But I go back and forth and I think about, well, I can find a balance, right? I can do these videos. I can grow my channel, because ultimately that's a part of the process in order to be able to share, because I want to share what I do. I don't want to, and that's fine. Like, people think differently. If you want to make music ultimately to yourself just because it feels good, therapeutic, whatever, and it's a hobby that you have, fine. Like, I don't judge that, but hopefully you don't judge the thought behind someone wanting to share. So I want to grow my channel to the point where I can share my music. Yes, in itself, when I create, that's intimate. That's a process all in itself, writing, creating, and that feels good. And that, maybe I could be happy in just doing that. And maybe that needs to be the mindset, and then just share anyways. I don't know. I just don't want to keep it to myself, right? Like, I want to create. And so the whole idea of growing the channel is just more people that I can share with. I guess, I don't think there's a fine line between everything. It could seem like, maybe prideful because I want to be seen, or I want to show y'all my work and stuff, and just need you to have to hear it. Or it could be like, you know what? I've got a gift that I enjoy. To me, it's a gift. Music is a gift to all of us who enjoy it. And that gift I want to share. So that could be actually thought of as selfless. So even in the thought process because you can perceive it as, this person's just creating content because they want to serve themselves. There's like, I don't even want to use the word necessary evil. It's just a tool in order to do a greater thing, right? I don't know, I'm just thinking. I gotta go pull those out the oven now, I think. Then I was gonna hook up some kale. I've been eating kale. It's my girl. I didn't even go out and buy the kale. My girl bought the kale. I seem to be the only one eating it. I take it to work. I put it in the Tupperware, and I put like a good tablespoon or so of butter, and then just melt it, put some onion powder and some salt on it. I think it's pretty dope. It's good. I might have to probably get off of here so I can eat. I don't know when my wife's going to be here, but I don't want to eat cold food, so. Okay, is the key group out now? Is it a single key group or a whole pack? Skeleton key group. Sounds interesting, though. I will go check out your page, though, after this, so I assume you mean it's out. Sold the 404, done to the next model. Now I'm Ableton and Koala Strong. Just buy a real bass. For sure. Then I gotta learn that. That's what's up. I don't know. Like, I ultimately always think about minimalizing. So how much do you really need when it comes to this? Like, you could just have one solid piano that you always pull from, one solid synth sound, you know? And your voice, you could, like you said, have your bass guitar. Like, how much do you really need? How much do we really need, and how much do we really expect? And I think ultimately that's what messes us up and kind of really keeps us from getting to where we need to get to. I'm engineering too much and just can't get it right. And yeah, I have too much gear. See, it's probably overwhelming you, man. And it's frustrating you. I mean, what is right? Like seriously, what is right? Like, I get it. I get you want quality sound, and I get that. But like, I think our perception has to change. Where are you trying to put your music? Like, think about that. Put it on the internet. Stop trying to make it perfect. Like, I'm not here trying to like be associated with any major music label or anything and get on the radio. So like, I'll go, otherwise, I guess those are good standards for quality, but does it have to be the only one? And why are we trying to match that? Like, I don't know what it is that you're trying to match exactly. But also, comparison is the thief of joy. What is right? Literally. So I don't know. I enjoy lo-fi type of sounds. I don't necessarily enjoy lo-fi music. It's cool. But I enjoy the wow and flutter, imperfect, kind of dirty sound. You know? So I'm not trying to go with a clean, like, what is right? Maybe that's the problem. You're looking for something that doesn't exist. Like, how much are you focusing on trying to get it right versus actually just trying to create and express yourself? So for you and I, it might be a different process, a different goal or whatever, but I think it's the same thought process, because I get overwhelmed too, like I said earlier, and I feel like quitting. Like, but I'll never quit, and you know you'll never quit. Just maybe there's some things that you should quit, or not necessarily quit, just let go of. Heavy pot smoker who doesn't smoke heavily anymore. So I've been in a strange world requiring a deep world to play in. It's like, are you saying you just recently stopped smoking heavily? Because you just said in the same sentence, I'm a heavy pot smoker. And then you also said, I don't smoke heavily anymore. So if you don't smoke heavily anymore, then you're not a heavy pot smoker. And I don't mean to like get all caught up in the details there, but sounds like you're defining yourself one way, but trying to be something else. So I assume you're just quitting, and that's also been rough on you, is what you're saying. Overwhelming is the word. Overwhelming for sure. And like, I don't even have, compared to a lot of people, I don't think I have a lot of stuff, but I feel like I have a lot of stuff. Like, because, and then I mean, I look at I've only seen your space in videos, bro, and it looks very clean and neat, and I respect that. So I try to keep my area clean and neat, but I got all these little different trinkets too. And then under my desk, I have other stuff. Like I have like 2 other samplers down there. And then I have 2 sound modules up here. And technically one's a sampler too. And then I have an extra keyboard here and an extra keyboard here. I got 2 keyboards. And it's not even that much. I got boxes for everything down there. It's not even that much, but it still gets scattered. And even just that is overwhelming too a bit. Yeah, stop worrying about sound perfection, for sure. And I'm sure, and you'll still get there. Like, it'll still sound cool. Perfection. I mean, just stop worrying about perfection. It doesn't exist. What is that? It definitely doesn't exist. I think perfect is being able to let go. That's what it is. That's perfection. No, it's not perfection. It's peace. That's what you should be looking for. Not perfection, peace. Peace of mind. And peace of mind is not always trying to control things. Peace of mind is letting go of stuff. Right? And this one's going to sound corny. Music is your gift. Your gift is a present. And it's a present to give back to the world. All right? It's not something to hold on to. You can't take it with you, like anything. But when we die, we can't take it with us. So, man, I don't know. Just play free. Yeah, I mean, sometimes maybe just let go of all the boundaries and just, instead of trying to sit down and do something specific, maybe just play free like that. I mean, sometimes I'll sit down and just try to just mess around. A lot of times I'm like trying to do something for a video, and that's kind of like, why am I always trying to do something in this little box of, oh, I have to. Less is best. Just let it flow and go. It's finding a balance. That's it. I release albums, for sure. That's why I started back in a DAW to finish music, and it makes me more happy. Well, there you go. In terms of finishing, I've never finished anything. Never thought anything was worth taking it further. It's like I'm trying to pull out the Excalibur sword. Bro, you can't do that. I understand what that is. You can't do that. You know what you're doing? You know what you're actually doing right now? You're practicing never completing anything. So you've gotten really good at not finishing. So it doesn't matter. That's the mindset I had to. And I thank God for YouTube, because I used this channel as a platform to state some of the goals that I wanted to do. And then I went and did them because I used it as a accountability, because I spoke it to the public. And not that anybody really cared or was holding me accountable. My word has always been, because I've always been kind of a man of few words and kind of a quiet person. So when I speak things, I really want to follow through with them. And so, you know, I challenged myself to that 10 beat. And maybe you should do something like this. And maybe you should make it public, because you may be similar. You might be an introverted person from just my perspective. And maybe you should do that. You should, you know, try being a little more vocal about what it is that you're doing. So I don't think you were around on my channel back then. Maybe you were, I don't know. But because this was years ago. When I first kind of going, I don't know, first year in, I did like a 10 beat, 10 week challenge where I would complete a beat, like arrange it and mix it down. And I did it all on the MPC, right? Maybe find some limited tools that you can do it on so you're not obsessing. So yeah, my phone's about to overheat. So let me wrap this up. Yeah, and just follow through. So you got to practice following through. Whether you think something is worth finishing or not, you have to follow through with finishing so that you're practicing finishing, because that's a skill in itself. All right, you're practicing all the other elements of music, like technicality, theory, mixing, making this shit sound perfect, right? Compression, EQ, and all that. You're practicing all that, but you're not practicing finishing, right? So your mixes aren't perfect, right? So that you practice those, right? Makes sense? But you don't practice finishing. It's a skill you got to build. All right, you got to develop a process so where actually you have a guideline and a template in your mind of how you actually do things. Because you are literally practicing how to never finish. And I've been there. So do it. And of course, you're going to feel overwhelmed and unfulfilled and feel like quitting, is because that's kind of what you practice doing, is not following through. You know? Not to be harsh, but tough love, because I've been there, man. And I understand. Dude, just do it. Even if you think it is not worth finishing, go and finish it, because it's worth it. You're worth the skill. You practicing everything else. I don't think I could say this anymore. Like, there's nothing more I can really. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. But definitely drill it into your mind that finishing is a skill that you need to start practicing. And especially since you just admitted that. And that's great. It's great that you admitted it, man, because I didn't know that about you. And it's just something that I knew about myself. And oftentimes still I don't follow through and finish things. But, man, like, do your arrangement. All right. and then just decide, hey, as long as you got an arrangement, like for me, it was being stuck in a 4-bar loop mainly, right? Because I don't like the mixing process too much. I try to bake it into my template and just leave it at that, and just that's it. And then I throw some stuff on it. So I'm not really super obsessed with it. I know it's not perfect, and I'd like to improve it, but hey, that'll come with practice. But for me, yeah, it's always been the 4-bar loop, and that's what Never Finishing looked like for me. It's in there. It's in the MPC, saved as a project as a 4-bar loop. So that's what you got to consciously look at the areas that are keeping you from there. And for me, it was just never arranging. So I had to practice arranging and sectioning things out and working the way that it works for me. And then now I just do that easy. It's like, yo, okay, this is my loop. I know this is my loop pretty much. I got a vocal on it. Now that's my hook. Now I want to break it down into a verse, intro. And that's pretty much it. So. But I understand that exactly. Trying to pull out the Excalibur sword. Yeah. You've been in practice mode waiting for that big fight. But you know what? Even fighters, like I might use like a different, I guess, same, whatever, analogy, anybody. You still have the little league. I'm mixing all these kind of fucking you have smaller fights, right? You gotta go out and have smaller fights. You don't have one big fight. You don't go from practice to the huge fight, right? No, you gotta show and prove yourself a little bit. Anyways, yeah, I'm out, but enjoyed it too well. Got to work on my new album, Detective Dan Winter. Detective Dan Winter, huh? Interesting. Andre 3000. Just released music and feel it fractional existing perfect people. People relate. You're still here, bro. People relate to mistakes. JT, what's good? There's no right or wrong, man. Way in making music. Exactly. I put music out with no expectations. I think I got some gold nuggets here. I'm probably gonna trim up and throw in some shorts. Hopefully. All right, really gotta go. Peace, brother. JT, admit you got a lot of stuff, a lot of gear. Yeah, quitting smoking and my mom having cancer over the new year ruined my flow. That's all. Just got to find it again. Oh, sorry to hear that, brother. But it sounds like, the latter kind of maybe motivated you to do the former there. You know what I mean? Is that what that is? Q Credulum, what's good, man? Probably about to jump off here, go eat some food. Well, I appreciate some of the stuff resonated with you, Ali Star, and I hope you figure it out. I think you will, man. Just gotta let go of some things. Yeah, man. It's all cycles too. I don't know how many times I've felt the same way too, like just quitting. Yeah, I've been there so many times. Anarcho Arachnid, what's good? And I appreciate the good word. Yeah, keep it simple. Use that KISS analogy, or that what do you call it? Can't think of it. Acronym. Use that KISS acronym and apply it to like everything. Keep it simple. Stupid. Tough love. Keep it simple. For sure, Ali Star. Wow, just quit smoking after 40 years. That's awesome. And you talking about like weed, or you talking about like, for me, I never was really, I had a couple of little moments in my life where I was heavy into weed, but they never lasted very long. But then I did smoke tobacco, cigarettes for, I think 10 years, from like when I was 20 to like when I was 30. And I tried quitting in between. At some point, nothing really worked until I realized I was going to have my first child. I was like, okay, I think that's enough. That's what it is for me, the ultimate motivator. And so I haven't smoked. Well, I think I've had a couple occasions where I maybe had smoked a cigarette, but ultimately I haven't bought in a pack and like relapsed into smoking for any good period of time for the last 9 years. So, I mean, yeah, you got to find your good motivator. Sometimes that's what it is. You know, maybe Ali Star for you was, I don't know if your mom was a smoker too. And that, but does marijuana cause cancer? I don't know. Maybe just the smoke in general. But sometimes, you know, things motivate us. I think love is the best motivator, like selfless love, that godly love, agape is what it's called in the Greek. Yeah, the selfless love. I think that's a good motivator. Or it could just be even health, like having good health. Like I've changed my diet extremely because it's been a good motivator, just dealing with a lot of digestive and issues with my body. And so like I'm on a pretty extreme diet that a lot of people think is wild. Like it's not the average person. You can find groups of people that do it on the internet. Like the beginning of January, I went to start carnivore, and I did carnivore for like a month. And I've done keto before, and now I've kind of led back into just doing keto. But I feel so much better. Like I don't have the same issues that I have when I'm eating all this other processed stuff and sugar and carbs. So, you know, certain things are pretty big motivators to stay disciplined. DJ Marky Bat, should I say what's up? Lord Lowery, what we doing? Yeah, man, I guess now we're just kind of talking about our motivations, about staying motivated and encouraged to keep going. Talking a little bit about feelings of quitting, how that's all cyclical, how you can, I guess, change your mind by refocusing what's important and letting go of certain things that are not really serving us, letting go of perfection, which doesn't exist. Stop trying to find perfection and instead find peace. And I think that comes from letting go and being okay with not being in control of everything. So that just a little recap. Day 3 of no nicotine. Well, all the best with that, man. For sure. All right, Ali Star, are you out or what? Anarcho Arachnid. I bought new gear with the money from quitting smoking. Hey, well, there you go. My phone's probably going to overheat any second. It already is. It's probably going to shut off. So let's just call this at the end of it, fellas. I'm going to try to go through the chat, and if it shuts down, it shuts down. It's pronounced Kai. Okay, Kai Credulum, my bad. And I know you probably told me that before. Lucas Deegan, it's good to work together. Back in the day, you were in a band, people around you to motivate you finish a track. For sure, that sounds good. Mainly SIGs. Wow, $500 in weed a month for about 35 years. That's pretty big, man. Yeah, but moving forward, man, to stay encouraged, man. Just, you know, that's kind of the, you know how the saying goes, insanity is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over